Welcome back to another video from the Debate Room podcast. As you can tell by the title, this is our second mock draft of the draft season. Honestly, probably should have did a few more, but now that the order is set, it makes a lot of things much more clear. We're gonna do the top 18 teams, and then after the playoffs over, we'll do another mock draft when the entire order is set. Um, Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, like the video, and follow us on our social media platforms up at the top of the screen. And we're gonna get right into it with the Titans. And Max will have the first pick, Q had the second pick, and now have the third pick. So Max, you are on the board right now with the Tennessee Titans. What are we doing?
As the GM of the Tennessee Titans, I need a quarterback. Unfortunate for this team, though, I believe this is not the time to take a quarterback. No matter what happens, the Titans will still suck next year and the year to follow. And I think there are better quarterback draft classes and much better quarterback talent to come out in those later drafts. I think you can get a bridge quarterback, whoever that is, to put out an okay team that's not named Will Levis. I think there are other things you need to fix. One being, you need playmakers on this team. This team desperately needs a spark. They need playmakers. They need guys who go get touchdowns for them to make an impact on either side of the ball. So with the first overall pick, I'm going to have the Tennessee Titans selecting Travis Hunter. I think to a very irrelevant franchise like Tennessee, first of all, Travis can put a lot of butts in seats. I think a lot of people want to go see Travis Hunter play football, whether it's at the cornerback position or the receiver position. Obviously, just won the Heisman, tons of talent on both sides of the ball. I think that it is a much smarter play to go with a more surefire prospect being a defensive player, being Mason Graham, Will Johnson, Abdul Carter. If you want to go, they go lines. You don't need that. Travis, I don't think that swinging on a quarterback right now because you're sitting at one. To be honest, I think they trade back. I think you trade back with the Giants. Hopefully they get desperate enough to go take a quarterback and they trade up for you. And you can somehow get a king's ransom for that. But if you're staying at one, I think Travis Hunter's the pick.
I think Travis Hunter needs to pick a position. I've been saying this for a while now. Honestly, I don't think he's going to be able to do the both sides of the ball thing in the NFL, especially not at a high level. I think he is a very talented player. He's one of the best athletes I've ever seen in college, but he needs polishing on both sides of the ball, in my opinion. His route running ability is not crisp enough for me. He's a freakish athlete, and he can make things happen after the catch. He could probably be a pretty good wide receiver in the league, but I think he would be a better corner because of his ball skills, athleticism, and that type of stuff, and his instincts. But as far as him in coverage, he has a ways to go with his technique as a coverage cornerback. I don't think he's the best corner in this class. And I don't think he's the best wide receiver in this class. He's the best athlete in this class, probably. And so when considering taking him one overall, I will have to make him pick a position. And if I want a wide receiver, I'll rather take somebody else. If I want a cornerback, I'll also rather take somebody else. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how this draft process goes for Travis, and if he decides to pick a position, because I think personally he needs to pick a position. That's me.
Yeah, his best position would be corner. In college, he had a top 5 corner season, a top 5 wide receiver season. Thing with him is like you got to think about when the NFL is still a business. We're talking about like say 3 years down the line, you extend them. Now you're talking about you don't know if you're giving him corner money or wide receiver money. Either way, it's going to be some crazy number at that point in time. We're probably talking about 5-year, $140 million extension. If he's playing both sides, say something happens, he gets hurt. You lost out on probably one of your top 2 corners and your top 2 wide receivers on your roster. Allocating that amount of money and then losing that level of production when your team is just not withstandable. Like you could lose your best or second best corner, as long as if you got a crazy offense, you can be in the mix. Look at Joe Burrow and them; they still got their wide receivers. They still got their 1 and 2 wide receiver. They're still in the mix. You could lose your second best wide receiver as long as you got your corner, but you're not like losing somebody important in both rooms. Also, when it comes to wide receiver, you can't be on the same page as your quarterback if you're only playing half the snaps at practice. Like that's a timing thing. You're most likely not going to a team with a great quarterback. So like everything got to be timing. You're not going to be on time if you're spending half your practice days on the other field with the defense. I mean, if you want to go the talent route, Travis Hunter, you can't really go wrong. It's just if you have a real need, I think you should just go with the best prospect. At number
What we doing
2,
at 2 with the Browns? Q.
it might be controversial. I'm not high on the quarterbacks in this draft. The quarterbacks don't actually fit the system that they got going on here. They could go 2 ways. They could go O-line. They could go D-line. If they trade Myles Garrett, I'd definitely go edge rusher, but I'm going to operate as if they still got their whole team. And with the second overall pick, the Cleveland Browns will be selecting Will Campbell.
Now, I think they had the worst offensive line basically in the entire league. Maybe bar the Texans and then the Texans and the Seahawks. Oh, Patriots, Seahawks. Yeah, they were in the mix for one of the worst offensive lines in the entire league last year. And I think Deshaun Watson made that worse. So I definitely understand them drafting here for need. And I think Will Campbell is a really good prospect. And I also agree that the quarterbacks in this class are not the best. And they will also be allocating money towards Deshaun Watson and another quarterback, which is also a part of this. I probably would have went quarterback though, and got a Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders, probably Cam Ward. But I understand the logic behind it, and I'm not really mad at it. With the third pick, where is he at? So I personally think Cam Ward is the best quarterback in this class because of his ceiling as someone that can operate outside the pocket, make plays. Outside the pocket, has a big arm. But I think all indicators are that they're going to go Shedeur Sanders here. And I think he's a good prospect. I think for the late first round, he's a good prospect. I think he has a decent arm, a B plus arm. He can make. No, talking about Shedeur Sanders. He has a B plus arm. I think he can make plays inside the pocket. His pocket presence does need some work for sure, but the Colorado offensive line was awful. He did better. He did a better job with it this year. So with the with the third overall pick, the Giants are going to select Shedeur Sanders. I think that's just what they're going to do. And I think he can be a serviceable quarterback. I think he could be like a Geno Smith, Teddy Bridgewater-esque quarterback in the league with the right situation. I think Brian Day was a really good quarterback whisperer. He can be in a big city. He has a big personality. I don't hate it. To be honest,
the Patriots are weird for me at 4 because I think they would have loved to go Will Campbell. I think obviously the O-line's a big issue, but they also need receivers. They need defense. Like they need a couple different things. I'm going to stick away from the defensive side of the ball. I think you want to help Drake May as soon as possible. And I feel like a lot of stuff I'm hearing about the class from other people who evaluate talent, from other people doing their mock drafts, is the receiver talent is not very highly touted past Travis Hunter as an athlete. Whether it's Tet, whether it's Luther Burden, I feel like they've definitely fallen in the ranks as receivers as the draft process has kind of gone through. I think if you had your guy, go for him. I think the safer route, though, I think Will Campbell is a great offensive tackle prospect. And I also think that Kelvin Banks is as well. So I will go with Kelvin Banks at number 4 for the Patriots. But if the board falls this way, I do think that this is a serious trading position. I think that the Patriots would love to address a lot of needs by trading back with the team who loves Cam Ward, who loves Tet McMillan, who loves Mason Graham, Ashton Genzy, whoever it may be, Abdul Carter. I think this is a great position for someone to trade out of there. So, but I'll go with Kelvin Banks.
You said it in a little bit more proper way for me.
Sorry. With the 4th overall pick, the New England Patriots select Kelvin Banks.
What we're doing is back on QF5. We got some wide receivers on the board. We got. I mean, the best tackles are off the board. What we doing?
The Jacksonville Jaguars, they can allocate most of their draft resources to defense. You can either go corner or you can go interior D-line. Right here, I will go with the 5th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. The Jacksonville Jaguars select Mason Graham. Eric Armstead clearly didn't help out. Trayvon Walker isn't first overall pick worthy. Josh Hines Allen had a down year. they are a decent edge rush duo, but the interior is just very bad. Mason Graham is the best D tackle prospect in like the last 2 years because Jalen Carter was just last year. But he's solid. He's like can't miss. I could have went Will Johnson here. Can't go wrong with either one. It's just would you rather you want to build your defense from the back end or the front? And right here, since they already have a decent corner, they could aggregate that and get another corner in later rounds. Probably pay for one. Jadavius Ward is an option. He's a free agent, but you're not going to be able to get another D tackle on the market, so you might as well get one right here for cheap.
What are we doing at? That's a good pick. What are we doing at 6? Max.
That's you, buddy.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Hey, this fell in your lap right here.
With the 6th overall pick, the Las Vegas Raiders are going to select Cam Ward. They need a quarterback really badly. Can't really do another season with Aiden O'Connell. Aiden O'Connell. My bad. I had a brain fart. And Gardner Minshew is not going to get it done. I think Cam Ward has the potential to be a really good quarterback in this league because of his arm talent, escapability. I think he needs to work on the turnover-worthy plays, and he sometimes just gets like he's made some really bad plays. Also, I don't think that nonchalant gimmick gonna work in the NFL. So hopefully you don't do that. Just sit in the back of there in the pocket. That's not gonna work. So yeah, I like Cam Ward though. He has some flaws, obviously. He's kind of like a roller coaster player, but he had like if you can fine tune him, you can get a really good quarterback out of him. Don't know what's going to happen on the Raiders though, because they just kept Antonio Pierce. Do they still have Luke Gessie at offensive coordinator, or they fired him?
I don't know if he's fired yet. To be
honest, they fired him.
Yeah. So, you are back at 7. Who is this?
The Jets. I was gonna take Cam Ward with the Jets. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of hoping he fell. I was gonna take Cam Ward with this pick. They need a quarterback pretty bad. I'm really only going with 2 things right now. This is a weird team, obviously. Huh?
I'm telling you about Drew Aller, bro. Like
Okay. I'm looking at this board. I don't love it because I don't really want secondary help. I'm looking at what I really need. A tight end would be great. If you want to take a swing at Loveland, I guess. But to be honest, right now, I don't see Hassan. Huh?
Easy pick.
I don't think Hassan Reddick is a long-term solution for this team. I think you should get his money and him off. So I would right now be happy that the talent of Abdul Carter fell down to me. And with the 7th overall pick, the New York Jets select Abdul Carter.
Good pick. Great pick. Used to be an off-ball. I keep forgetting to change the names. Used to be an off-ball linebacker, switched to DN this year. Very fast, very athletic. Still working on his like moves like that, but he's gonna be a freak at nature at the next league. He's really fast, really athletic.
Michael Parsons.
Yeah, like Michael Parsons light. What we doing with the Panthers, Q?
Panthers need defense, need edge help. Interior D line too, but they have Derek Brown who wasn't coming. He's coming off injury, but he's a stud once he gets back. You need some, help on the D line around him. I also think they could go safety here, but I'm gonna play it safe and go with the next best edge rusher in the class, and I'm gonna go with the 8 with the 8th overall pick. Carolina Panthers select Nick Scorton out of Texas A&M. The talent drop off between him and Abdullah is not that deep. He's solid, got great moves, great hands. He can get better. He needs a little help on the physicality side, but all that's going to come once he gets into the league.
I thought you would take Will Johnson, honestly.
I was, but I know that they desperately need some pass rush up, like desperately. And J.C. Horn wasn't great this year, but he was very solid. I think he got the Pro Bowl nod, just like a gimme, but he was decent this year. I think they still solid.
I still like J.J. Horn. Is it you, Max?
No, it's you. Sorry, who'd you just go with?
I went with
why can't I find him? Oh, that's why I'm on the wrong side. You always scored, right?
They don't really have a weapon. Well, they have Chris Olave.
Q, you almost scored? Nick scored?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Saints are an interesting team, bro. Because they don't really have a weapon, bro. at all. Let's see. Let's go on the board. I don't think it needs secondary help at all. Ashton Jesse, no. Luther Burden, no.
This is where you start looking. Jalen Walker is decent. Will Johnson's still on the board, isn't he?
Yeah, they need another safety. My cornerback.
Kool-Aid hasn't been like great this year. Neither has and Alontae Taylor got exposed. If Will Johnson's there, that's great. That's like great value to get him
Great
at.
They got to hit on a prospect. That's it. Like, they got to hit on a prospect.
I think you
You
can't
could
miss
get best
Will.
player available. I'll do it with the 9th overall pick. The Saints select Will Johnson. Go ahead and get best player available. He's one of the best players in this draft class. I think he should have went higher than this. Not necessarily saying they need another help in the secondary. The Saints just honestly need anything to hit. I agree with y'all because they just have a lot of old players in the roster, a lot of money tied up. They need young talent, and they need something to help hit. I guess they're going to give a year to Spencer Riley next year and see if he can, do something. Maybe they play their card again. Who knows? We're at 10 with the Chicago Bears. Who has to pick?
Me, if I'm a Bears fan, I hate how this board fell because Banks and Campbell are both off the board, and even Abdul Carter, Mason Graham. I'm a Bears fan who would want to go O-line for sure with this first pick, again, like we did last year. Don't need – 2 years ago, my fault. Don't need receiver, obviously. Don't need some of the other defensive players. We needed edge. We needed D-tackle, but I would rather fix that in the draft. So – in free agency, my fault. So with his 10th pick, I'm going to go with Josh Simmons from Ohio State. I think as a whole, you're just praying that Campbell or Kelvin fall. I would love Campbell. But I think that if the board falls how it does, I think if the Patriots prioritize that over receivers, obviously Tet's still on the board. If Tet doesn't get drafted there, maybe Will falls, maybe Kelvin falls. But yeah, we have to adjust the O-line in some way. So with the 10th overall pick, the Bears select Josh Simmons.
I'm still in the Panthers, bro. Oh my God. Go ahead.
See, the 49ers, they need O-line help, but they also need edge help because they don't have no edge rushers outside of Nick Bosa. Everybody else is just patchwork. Like, what's Leonard Floyd? He's 1-year deal. Huh?
They can take a corner too.
Yeah, Trey Davis were not going to be there. Most likely not going to be there next year. They just paid Denominator to Lenore, but they still need somebody on the other side. They cool at safety. If it's either edge, O-line or safety, there's no O-lineman that I take right here. But there is a great prospect still on the board, and you can't go wrong with taking another safety. So I like Malachi Starks, but right here I take Jahdae Barron from Texas. Another corner you could put on the other side of Lenore. Young talent. They need to get young and cheap.
Hold on. My bad. What the heck is going on? I gotta find his name. You said who?
Jahdae, right there.
Okay. So with the 11 overall pick?
Yeah, he fits their scheme, and it's just very physical, good ball skills.
All right, it's back on me with the Cowboys. I'm not going to take wide receiver. I think as long as they have CD and Dak, they'll be pretty fine. I'm not taking a running back here. The O-line is still pretty good. They can use some edge help. Some help on the interior of their defense. Let's see what we got on the board.
This is the pick everyone wants to happen. This is the pick everyone just keeps talking about now.
Actually, he's not worth a
This is the only team that I see rumoring to go get him. The only jersey edit I see.
Because they need a running back.
Yeah.
What are their safety situation looking like?
Safety is gonna miss. It's Malik Hooker. He was decent this year. He's been decent since he got there. It's their corner. Like safety.
I'm thinking about Malachi Starks right here. Is my whole point.
That's a great pick.
He's one of the best talents in his class. Definitely not the 11th best player in his class at all.
They would love somebody that could stop the run, like a interior D lineman. But if you get them a decent safety or a linebacker, that'd be cool for them.
Yeah. With the 12th overall pick, the Cowboys are going to select Malachi Starks from Georgia.
I would have took that anyway. Fuck it.
With the 13th overall pick, the Miami Dolphins are going to select Tet McMillan. I'm assuming that Tyreek Hill will be gone by some point in time, which means you need to put another receiver next to Jalen Waddle. I think that you have enough help right now in the secondary. You need to figure out a way to help Tua for the immediate future with any picks you may get from Tyreek Hill. I don't think Tyreek wants to be there, so don't force him to be there. And if Tet, especially if he falls down this far in the draft, I think it's pretty good value to go take another receiver to put alongside of Jalen Waddle to give him another option.
Are they not going to cut him?
Who?
They're trading Tyreek. How are they going to cut him?
I don't think they're gonna cut. I think they're gonna try to get something back from They give like a first, a second. Nah, they need something.
That makes sense. So, Coach Q.
With the Colts, they desperately need another corner. They need a corner. I don't think they could get a save, but I like their safeties are cool. I really think they need an outside corner. And with this, what's this? The 14th pick. With the 14th pick in the 2025 NFL draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Benjamin Morrison.
Great pick. I think the Notre Dame has a few defensive prospects that will be in the NFL pretty soon on their roster. Benjamin Morrison being one of the best corners in the nation this year, so I think it's a great pick.
Sorry, who'd you guys go with? My fault. I didn't.
Benjamin Morrison. Benjamin Morrison. Is it my pick at 15?
Yes.
Okay. They need to go D-line here because the Falcons are really bad generating pressure this year. Really bad. So I'm probably going to go D-line. With the 15th overall pick, the Falcons are going to select Mykel Williams from Georgia. To my understanding, he's like pretty raw, correct?
Yeah, he's the Trayvon Walker type mold.
Really talented player, really raw. That's what I've seen from all that I watched him this year. When I watched some of the Georgia games, really raw prospect. But if he puts it together, type of thing, and I think that's a good bet in the middle of the class. It's not like he's taking him with a top 10 pick or nothing like that.
Ooh, Cardinals. I ain't know Kevin Grant was still on the board. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think you gotta go defense. Looking at James Pierce, looking at Kenneth Grant. I don't even know.
Pierce.
Who are the D tackles even in Arizona?
It's Rowe from Missouri from last year.
I'll be right back.
And a bunch of nobodies.
Yeah.
Kenneth Grant, cool. They would love an edge, but Kenneth Grant, cool.
I feel like it's just a corner. Naquan Jones and Roy Lopez. Bilal Nichols is still on their team, though. That's crazy. I didn't know that. He's still playing. All right.
Did you make a pick?
Yeah, I'm going to go with it. With the 16th overall pick, the Cardinals will go with why is it a brain fart?
Kenneth?
Yeah. With the 16th overall pick, the Arizona Cardinals will go with Kenneth Grant.
$17 on you.
Two more picks.
Cincinnati. They clearly need defense. D-line would be cool for them right here, but it's not a bunch of D-linemen that I take this at this particular moment. I don't know. All the best ones are off the board. I might. It depends because James Pierce, I don't like him as a prospect.
Too small.
Yeah, they don't. All the better prospects around this town there is looking like like offense, but they don't need offense. I know they're bracing for the T. Higgins departure, but they can't keep doing malpractice with their defense. So with the 17 overall pick, Cincinnati Bengals select Walter Nolan. Probably got to go to D tackle.
I found
yeah.
him.
Yeah,
Am I the last
it's the middle. They lost out on DJ Reader. They need somebody to fill that mold, help them stop the run. The edge, they can fill that out later, but they need to get that done now. Offense, they can wait. Their whole draft should be defense.
I think the Seahawks desperately need a tackle in this class. So with the 18th overall pick, they're going to select Ariante Ursary. Hopefully, I just didn't butcher his name. They need tackle really, really badly, and that's going to be the last pick we do today until the playoffs are over, and then everything is set up. Thank you guys for watching the channel. Subscribe to the channel, like our video, share the video, and follow us on our social media platforms. Also, leave a comment if you disagree with any of our picks, or we picked for your team and you like the pick, or you disagree with the pick. Just let us know. Quick little mock draft, and we are out.